Welcome in and welcome back. We're here for a trailer review this time, of the new Russell Crowe biopic known as Unhinged. It looks like, so I've got to say, this thing looks action-packed. Looks like it's probably a B movie, and it would probably be a C movie were it not for the likes of Russell Crowe, about whose life this movie is. And it looks like, from both the trailer and the marketing involved, when you look at all of the promotional images that have come out for this movie, it looks like Russell Crowe is the main character, which would be interesting. Imagine watching a Halloween film from the viewpoint of Michael Myers. And every once in a while, you just say, yeah, that bitch had it coming. It would be interesting to get the straight up, flat out, all forward viewpoint of the monster, namely Russell Crowe. And I have to imagine he will not be named in the movie. He will not have a name in this movie, and he will just be credited as Texan 1. Because, look, Russell Crowe with a Texas accent is horrifying. Just horrifying. God damn, that's scary enough. He doesn't have to run over anyone. He could just walk around with that accent for an hour and a half, and people would leave the theater with chills. Look, hey, if Texas becomes the home of Russell Crowe, Joe Rogan, and Elon Musk all in the same year, will we just use the rest of the country to grow soy? It's a legitimate question, I think. I don't think there's much point in the rest of the country at that point. Again, another trailer that is using music from the 90s to target people my age. And I realized I had to Google it because I got to wondering when I was watching this trailer, because Russell Crowe does not look good in this movie. Still looks scary. Still looks as scary as ever, and that got me thinking, boy, he sure was a beast in Gladiator. In Gladiator, he was my age, and that makes me feel like a punk. That makes me feel like I've wasted so much time, because here you are sitting in front of your computer watching this, and you are not entertained. The one thing that really stands out about this movie to me is it reminded me of that Troy McClure line from The Simpsons when his agent calls and asks him if he wants to be human in the Planet of the Apes, and he says, hey, that's the part I was born to play, baby. This is the part Russell Crowe was born to play. There is no doubting that. It is goddamn perfect. And the one thing in this movie that looks subpar to me, that stood out like a sore thumb, was the line, "You better bring your A game." It just sort of seemed weird to me, and I don't know if it's because I never associated Russell Crowe with sports besides combat sports, like a boxer, a gladiator, things like that. So seeing him use like sort of a sports term, which, hey, I get it, he's a Texan, whatever, maybe. I mean, I don't know. So the establishing shot of this trailer is that crazy highway system. I imagine it's because it's a very famous crazy highway system. Looks like something they would have in Texas. There's all sorts of terrifying road structures in Texas. So I wonder if that's actually where it takes place. I didn't happen to notice any license plates or anything. No one else has a Texas accent, just Russell Crowe. That's the only bad thing about the trailer. The part about the trailer that was kind of questionable to me, and it looks like something out of a Tarantino film, is the murder scene in the diner where he just all out assaults that dude and presumably kills him with a diner table. And everyone's just sort of sitting there. Hey, maybe that's realistic. I don't know. I've never been in that situation. But it seems very Tarantino-esque. All things aside, this movie is not opening in the far future. It's opening in the near future, if all things get checkmarked, if all things end up opening. So maybe this is something I'll review for the channel if I'm able to get out to the theaters and see it. But yeah, those are all the thoughts that I have on the latest biopic that is coming out of Hollywood. It's not about Queen, it's not about Elton John, it's about Russell Crowe, and it's called Unhinged.